three kind of a cell reference in the Excel. The first reference is absolute reference. Okay. In the absolute reference, what happened? It says a kind of a scenario where you have to put the dollar sign before the column and you have to put the dollar sign before the row. So in this case, if you put the dollar sign before the row number, it means your row is locked. If you put the dollar sign before the column, it means your column is locked. So in this case, what will happen with the control D and control R? So in the control D, what happens? Row number get increased.
Increase.
Row increase.
But here your
Not
row
in
number is,
row
yeah,
two.
but here your row is locked or not?
Yeah.
It's locked.
Correct. So it means if you drag the formula, it will not work. It means it will not keep changing from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. It will not keep changing because you have put the dollar sign before the row number 1 and it is completely locked. Similarly, if you will just go for this control R. So in this control R, what happens? Your column get increased. But here your column number is locked or not? A is locked, right? Before the dollar, you can see. So in this case, it will also not increase. Okay. Second is mix reference. In the mix reference, we have two cases. First case, second case. Sorry, second case. Now let's talk about this first case. So in this, your row number is locked or not? Correct. So if your row number is locked, so your row number will not increase. It means control D will not work. But your column is locked or your column is unlocked?
Unlocked.
Unlocked. So your column will have the chances to increase, right?
Yes.
So it means control R will work. In the second case, before the one, we do not have the dollar sign. It means my row number is completely free. So your row number can increase, but your column is locked or not?
Yes, locked.
Right. So it will not increase. Okay. The third is the default one, which is the relative reference. So in the relative reference, dollar sign is not used. It means your column is completely free, your row is completely free. So in this case, your column will also increase, your row will also increase. Okay, so if you understand the summary or the crux of this cell reference, so it simply says, if you will drag any formula to the downside, your row number will increase. If you will drag any formula to the right side, your column will increase. And if you do not want to increase either the row or the column, put the dollar sign before that. Understood, everyone?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Something
Means if
confused.
Okay.
when we have to lock the
I will show you the practical scenario. Do not worry about it. But I'm just
Yes.
telling you, just understand the crux. It says when you will drag the formula, your row number will increase. When you drag the formula to the right side, your column will increase. And if you do not want to increase either the row or the column, put the dollar sign before that. If you do not want to increase the row number, put the dollar sign before the number, before the row. If you do not want to increase the column, put the dollar sign before the column. Understood? The summary?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Now see the practically. For example, I have given you the one number as a 50, which is written here on this B2 cell. And here I have given you the numbers from 100 to 900. Now in this D column, what my requirement is, I am looking for an output which says this 100, which is written here. So this 100 plus this 50 is a 150. Then in the next cell, 200 plus this 50, that is a 250. It means in each and every number, I have to add this 50 or the number which is written on the B2 cell. So what you will do? In the first cell, you will go like this or not? C4 plus B2, correct? And you will
Yes.
press the enter.
Yes.
It is giving you the perfect result, which is fine. But
Yes.
when you drag this formula to the downside, it is giving you the wrong result or not?
Yes.
Yes,
Wrong
Okay,
it
result.
is giving
right?
wrong result.
So always remember this concept that whenever you are putting the formula in the first cell and it is giving you the perfect desired output, but when you are dragging this formula to the downside or the right side, and if your output gets generated wrongly, so always remember your formula is perfectly fine, only the freezing concept is missing. Because अगर आपका फॉर्मूला गलत होता तो आपको फर्स्ट सेल का आउटपुट भी करेक्ट नहीं आता, बट the first cell formula you are getting perfectly fine. So now see what is the missing here. So if you go for the first cell, it is adding the which cell? C4 plus B2, right? When it will go into the next cell, so I have told you when the formula move to the downside, then what happens? Your row number will get increased or not?
Yes, increase.
So when it will go into the next cell, then C4 will become the C5 and
C5.
B2 will become the B3,
Yes.
right? And when it will go into the next cell, C5 will become the C6 and
C6
B3 will
and
become
B4.
B4, correct? So it means for this C column, it is perfectly fine. But here, this row number 2 should not get changed because we have to
Yes.
add this B2 cell, correct?
Yeah, we want that as a constant.
Constant, correct. So in the first cell of the formula, here before the 2, put the dollar sign. Okay, that when I drag this formula, then row number 2 should not get changed. Press the enter and drag this formula once again here. So now can you see it is giving you the correct result or not?
Yes. Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
But my concept is that I have used that formula
Mm-hmm.
when I was work, but
Mm-hmm.
I put that this dollar symbol before
Mm-hmm.
B.
Huh.
Before B.
Mm-hmm.
Because our 50 in that cell number is a B2.
Huh.
So dollar sign you have put after B.
After 2. Yeah, after
But
B. After B means before 2.
before 2, yes.
Yeah.
But
So
when I was work, so
Hmm.
I'll just put that before B.
Look, it depend on the scenario. Okay. Because why I put the before the 2, the reason is because I'm dragging this formula to the downside, na? So in the downside, my row number should not get changed. Okay. And the scenario which you are talking about might be in that scenario, you do not want to increase the column. So that's why you have put the dollar before the B.
No, I want to increase that column because I'm calculating the interest rate.
If you
Uh,
if you want to increase the column, then you do not want to put the dollar before the B.
Actually I'm doing as like that, so I'll be get the same input. So for the just my concept, can you put that dollar symbol before B?
Here, here.
Before.
Uh,
Yeah.
Okay. And do I need to remove this dollar before the 2?
Yes, remove
Oh,
and keep it
okay.
before B.
Okay. So it will also give me the incorrect result. Because just understood the concept. Okay. Do not just mug up the things that before the dollar put the 2 or before the B. No. Just understand this concept. If you will put the dollar sign before the row number 2, so it means when I will drag the formula to the downside, then this row number 2 is not going to be changed. Okay, this B will come into the picture when you will drag the formula to the right hand side. This B and C will keep change only when you will put the formula to the right hand side. Right hand side means like this. But here I am just dragging the formula to the downside only, na?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Now let's see this concept. In this you will get all the things. Okay. Now I have given you a one number which is on the B2 cell. You have a C column data, and here I have given this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what I'm looking for, here I want to add the C column data plus B column data plus the number which is written on the top like this. Okay, enter. You are getting this 151, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Now here what my requirement is, when I drag this formula, so in each and every row in this grid, I want to add the 50 in each and every row. That is one. Second, in this E column, I want to add the number. This is the one which is written on E3 cell. Similarly, in the next cell, I want to add this F3. Then in the next cell, I want to add the G3 and so on and so forth. Concept is clear? Okay. Now, so here if you see, so first discuss about this B2 cell. So in this B2 cell, what you will do? In this B2 cell, if I talk about, so it means when I drag this formula to the downside, so your row number 2 should not get changed, correct? So put the dollar before the 2. And when I will drag this formula to the right hand side, so your B column should not get changed. Yes or no? Correct? So put the dollar sign before the B also. Okay. Now let's come to the E3 cell. When I drag this formula to the downside, your row number 3 should not get changed. But when I will drag this formula to the right hand side, then the E column should get changed to the F, F column should get changed to the G, then H, then I, then J. So it means E column you want to keep changing, but your row number 3 you do not want to keep change. So where you will put the dollar sign? Before the 3 or before the E?
Before 3.
Before 3. Okay. Now let's come to the C column. So when I will drag this formula to the downside, then C4 I want to change to the C5, C6, C7 and C8 and so on, which is fine. But when you drag this formula to the right side, do you want to keep changing the C column? No, right? So put the dollar sign before the C. That's it. If you press the enter, and now if you select this grid and Control D and Control R, you are getting the desired output or not,
Yes,
right?
we will get.
Okay, this one. Now you can see the power of this cell reference. If you are not aware from the cell reference concept, then in these 54 cells, you have to put the formula manually every time. Okay, so cell reference basically helps you whenever you want to make any kind of a formula dynamic into the Excel, so you can put the freezing concept into your formula and you can drag down and right side. Okay, hope this is clear to everyone.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now this cell reference assignment I'm just giving to you, which you guys can perform the offline. So only the difference is where I have taken the 50 on the B2 cell here, only the 72 I have taken, nothing else. Okay. The same thing you guys have to try. Okay. Now the next function we have the text function. Okay. So text function basically helps you to change the value or change the format of any value. For example, I have given you the date on this column A, and I said this date are basically into my MMDDYY format, but I want to convert into the DDMMYY format. So what I can do is I can use the text function which says the value. Value means select that value for which you want to change the format. So I selected this value, comma, it is asking the format text. In which format we want to change? DDMMYY.
MMY.
So, right, so in double quotes, I will write DD/MM/YY. If I press the enter, so can you see the 1 8 has been converted to the 8 1 or not? Right?
Yes.
And if I drag this, you can see the output. One thing if you notice, here in your original date on this A6 cell, do we have the 0 before the 1 or 0 before the 8 in the prefix?
No.
But here in this B column, it is coming or not?
It is coming.
Yeah. So here I have used the double D and double M. If I use the single D and single M, it will not come. What does it mean? Okay, so let me show you. So here, if any date is coming between 1 to 9, and if you have used the single D, so it will not put the 0 in the prefix. Okay. If any date is coming between 1 to 9, and if you use the double D, so it will put the 0 in the prefix, because the double D or the 2D means it needs to represent the 2 digit. But from the 1 to 9, there will be the 1 digit. So what it will do, it will put the 0 in the prefix. If you use the triple D, so it will give you the 3 letters of the day. For example, I want to know on these date what was the day. So I can use the text function, and I said this is the value, and I said that triple D. Triple D is the 3D. And if I press the enter, look, it is telling on the 8th of Jan, that was a Sunday. If I drag this, look, if I put the today's date here, if I enter, so you can see today is a Saturday, right? If you will put this 4D, it will give you the entire day, like the Sunday or the Saturday. Like here, if I say the text, and here, if I say the 4D and enter, so look, it is giving you the whole day. If you drag this, look, it is giving you the complete entire day. Okay. If you will write more than 4, for example, if I'm using like this, it will also give you the entire day. Okay. It doesn't mean that it will throw an error. Okay. Minimum 4D to show the entire day. If you write the 5 or the 6, it will also give you the same result. Okay. Same for the month, you have the case, and for the year, this is the case. Either you write the single Y or you write the double Y, it will give you the 2 digit. Like for the year 2024, it will give you the 24. And either you write the triple Y or the 4Y, for the entire year, it will give you the entire year, that is a 2024. Okay. Now suppose if using this column A date, I want to display the date into this format. So what is this format is? Your day should come, hyphen 3 letters of the month should come, hyphen 2 digit of the year should come. This is the format or not? What is the format I said? This format? D
One
will
digit.
come. Yeah, D will come. Then your triple M come and single Y or the double Y will come. This is the format or not?
Yes.
Correct. So you will use the text function and only this format you have to write. D, triple M, double Y or single Y. Enter. Drag this. You can see. You are getting the desired output, right? So this is the way that how you can just perform this. Make sense, everyone? Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, clear.
Okay, great. Okay, fine. Okay. So before we move further, we can just take the break for the next 5 minutes and then we will continue further. Hope this is fine with everyone.
Yeah, fine.
Okay, yeah. So Pradeep, everyone, basically we are on the break for the 5 minutes. Okay. Okay. So is everyone back now?
Yes.
Okay. Great. So now the next is we have a text to column here. Okay. Now, so here the text to column basically we use when we want to split the data into the multiple columns on the basis of any common factor. Okay. And to implement the text to column, we have a shortcut key is Alt D E. Alt is stands for the alter, D as in data, E as an extract. If you want to extract the multiple columns, the data into the multiple columns on the basis of any common factor, you can use the text to column, or you can also use it from here in the data tab. You can see this text to column. Okay, you can also use it from here. So I have given you this data where we have the first name and the last name in this column A, and my requirement is that I want to split this data into these two columns. The first name should come in column D and the last name should come in column E. So what I will do is, first step is you have to select that data which you want to split. So I have selected this whole data of this column A which I want to split. I have selected that. The second step is you have to go for this text to column activity. Okay, if I click on this, it will give you this convert text to column wizard. Or similarly, you can also get it if you press the shortcut key as a Alt DE. It will also give you the same wizard. Now, in this wizard, if you see, it tells you the two things, two kind of a original data type, delimited and fixed width. It says if the common factor through which you want to split your data, if that common factor is any kind of a special characters. Okay, like you want to split your data from the space, comma, semicolon, at the rate, hyphen, slash. If these kind of a common factor you have into your data set from where you want to split your data, then use the delimited. So in this case, if I want to split my first and last name, then what is a common factor?
Space.
Space. And space is your special character or not? Correct.
Yes.
And for the special character, you have to use the delimited. So select this delimited and click on the next. Once you click on the next, you will have these delimiters. So delimiters are nothing, but it is basically says that please select the common factor on the basis of your data set. So what is my common factor in this case? Space. So just select this space. So here you can see in the data preview, it is showing you that your name will get split. Click on the next. Now destination, this is one of the most important thing. So it is asking to you where you are looking for the output. So the default destination will be the selected of your data, the first cell. So I have selected the data from the A2. It is telling the A2 as a destination. If I will just click on this finish, so what will happen? The first name will come into the A column and last name will come into the B column. But original data I want to keep as it is, and the first name and the last name I am looking for in column D and column E. So what I will do, I will change the destination from A2 to D2. So I can click here and I can change this A to D. Okay, this one. Or you can click on this up arrow and you can select the cell. So automatically it will take the reference from there. Okay. So if I just click and take the reference, so automatically it will take the reference from there like this. Now, if I just click on the finish, it will ask for the confirmation. Click on the OK. So now you can see it has splitted your data into the first name and the last name. Look. Okay. And if you are not aware from this text to column functionality, then all these things you will perform the manually, and which is highly time consuming. Okay. Is it clear, everyone?
Can you please explain it again? That formula wala.
Okay. The destination you are talking about?
No, after opening that text column.
So here your common factor is a space, and space is basically your special characters, and special character comes under this delimited. So that's why I selected this delimited and selected the common factor as a space here, and then I clicked on the next, and in this destination I changed this A2 to D2 because I'm looking for an output to be generated from here, and simply click on this finish and click on the OK. You can see the output. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Mhm. Then we have this skip column. As the word says, skip. Skip means if you do not want to include any column into your generated output. For example, I have given you the data in this column A, okay, where you have the name, you have the city, you have the course, you have the date, and you have some fees, okay, or the some amount. Out of this entire data, I am looking for only two column, name and course fee. That's it. So if you just select this data and perform the text to column on this data, so what is the common factor? Space, right? So I selected this delimited and space. So can you see your data is getting splitted or not properly, right? This one. If I click on the next, so first of all, if I just change the destination over here that I'm looking the output from this C column, so what will happen? In the C column, it will fill the name. In the D column, it will fill the city, then course, then date, then fees. But do we require all the columns?
No.
No. So the columns which is not required to you, like this city, then course, then date. So these three columns, by holding the control key or by holding the shift key, I can select this column and click on this do not import, or individual one by one also you can do. Like I selected this city, click on do not import. So it converted to the skip column. Next I selected, click on do not import. Next I selected, do not import. So the columns which you do not require into your generated output, that column you can select in this convert text to column wizard and convert that from general to do not import. So in this case, these three columns I converted into the skip column. So these three columns will not generate into your final output. Only the name and the fee will come. If I just click on this finish and OK, look, can you see only those two columns?
Yes.
Okay, so this escape column is basically the feature in the text to column that if you do not want to show any kind of a generated output, then in that case you can use that skip column activity. Okay. Now suppose if I have given you the data like this where you have a email ID, okay, like the first name dot last name at the rate gmail.com, first name dot last name at the rate gmail.com. Like suppose you have a this kind of a data set, and from this data set I am looking for the first name and the last name in
Last.
column D and E. So first of all, I will select my data, then text to column. So now just tell me that if I'm looking for the first name, that what is a common factor?
No, because there is no comma, there is no tabs.
Before the full stop.
Mm, So if I'm looking for the first name, can you see the common factor into your data set which can help you to fetch the first name? After each and every first name, the dot is coming or not?
Jen. Yes.
Dot is coming now. So dot is your common factor in this case, right?
Yeah.
So the dot is also the special character. So go with this delimited. Next, and here, do we have a dot here?
No.
No.
No. So any special characters which is apart from the semicolon, comma, and space, you have to select this other. So select
Yes.
this other, and in this box, just put that factor dot.
Yes.
Okay. Now click on the next and simply select the destination where you are looking for the output. And here it will generate the three columns. This last column is not required to me anymore. Okay. So I will just go for this, do not import. Simply click on the finish and click on the OK. So once I click on the OK, you are getting the first name perfectly fine in the D column,
Yes.
right? But in the E column, along with the last name at the rate Gmail is coming. So what you can do is you can select the E column data now, go for the text to column, and this time we can split from at the rate keyword or not, right? So go with this next, and here I can mention the at the rate keyword. So your data will be splitted. Click on the next. Then here, this Gmail is not required to me. I will convert this to not import. And this destination I do not need to change because in the same column I'm looking for the output. So simply click on the finish, and now you can see the first name and the last name here. Is it clear? Okay.
अनु ये
Yeah.
टेक्स्ट टू कॉलम वाला आप कहाँ से सिलेक्ट कर रहे हो?
This one. This data here I selected, then here in the data tab, you will see this text to column.
Okay.
Characters. But now suppose if I have given you this data and I said, in this data, what I'm looking for, that I'm looking for the 3 characters of the name. Like from the Ronnie, RON should come. From the Marcus, MAR should come. Okay, like this. So if you need the first 3 characters over here, so after the first 3 characters, we do not have any common factor like the space, comma, semicolon. We do not have. But in this case, I have told you that I'm looking for the first 3 characters. So what I will do, I will select this data, go into text to column, and in this case, I will use this fixed width. Go for the next. Then here you can see the parameters here, and you can see this point. Create a break line, click the desired position. So after 3 characters, so here after 3 characters, just click on that. You will see this break line. So this break line will split your data. So first 3 characters is separate, rest of the data is the separate now. If you want to delete this break line, you can double click on this, or if you want to move it, you can hold and drag it anywhere. Okay. Now click on the next. Rest part is completely same. So suppose I'm just looking for the output in this H column, and this last part is not required to me. I can go for do not import. Simply click on the finish. You are getting the first 3 characters.
Yes.
Okay, this one. Now in the Excel, you have seen that if you try to enter the 0 in the prefix before any of the number, like for example, I say 0, 5, 2, 4, and if I press the enter, 0 get removed automatically from the prefix, right? But it doesn't mean that 0 doesn't have any kind of importance in the prefix. 0 has. For example, if I talk about the bank account number, if into your bank account number, if 0 comes into the prefix, so while the time of the filling the form, you use the 0 or not, correct? Similarly, if into your check number, if the 0 comes into the prefix, so you use the 0 in the keyword, or into your roll number or into the hall ticket, if your 0 is coming into the prefix, so you write the 0 into your roll number or not, correct? So it doesn't mean that 0 doesn't have the preferences. Okay, so if in the Excel, if you want to write the 0 in the prefix, so how you will write it? So there are 2 ways. The first way is you can put the apostrophe or the single quote, then you can write the 0 and whatever the number you want to type and enter. It holded the 0 or not?
Yes, hold it.
Okay,
Yes.
so if you see, if you will select this one, it will show the some kind of a navigation, and if you hover the cursor, it says the number in this cell is formatted as a text or preceded by an apostrophe. It means the number which is written into this cell is no longer has a numeric data type, it is now have the text data type. So if any number you want to convert into the text format, then you have 2 ways. Either you can put the apostrophe in the prefix, or the second way you can move from this general to text data type. But how you will move that, we are going to see it. In this A column, I have given you this data and I said I am looking for the last 4 digits in column B. So I selected this data, then similarly text to column. Then here I will use this fixed width. Then last 4 digits, we have this last 4 digits. Then next, then first starting character I'm not looking for, do not import. Then in this destination, I selected this column B. So now in this generated output which I'm looking for, the 0 is coming into the prefix or not? 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 4.
Yes, I need.
Correct. So here, if you require this 0 in the prefix, so what we required it, we have to convert from general to text. If you will not convert from general to text here, then if you click on this finish, so 0 will not come into the prefix. It will show the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5. But we need the 0 in the prefix, so we will just convert this to the text format. You can see converted to the text, and now if you click on the finish, it will give you the 0 in the prefix. Now if you select any of the value in this column B, are you able to see the apostrophe in the formula bar before the number?
No.
No, right? But here now what is coming? Text. Okay, so this is the way. Now in this column B, whatever the data you are able to see, you will not be able to perform any kind of a numerical operations. Okay, like you cannot make the sum count. For example, if you try to sum of these values, you will not be able to make it sum. Okay, the reason being because these are basically the text values. Okay, these are no longer number. So if any number which is into the text format, and if you want to convert into the number or the general format, then we have a one formula which is the value. Okay, and if I select this number which is into the text format, it will convert into the general format. So in the general format, the 0 will get removed, and you can see, okay, 0 will get removed and you can see this number over here. Okay, so in this way you will be able to see this one. Okay, now if you just drag this formula, so now you can see the formula is here now, and here if you see, if I just try to make the sum of this equals to sum of this column C, so here you will see the sum of this column C, which will show the number which is a 1677. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, this one. So this is basically the concept of text to column activities. Okay, so we have seen all the stuff till here. Okay, now we are going to see this concatenate function. Okay, concatenate is just like a vice versa of the text to column. So like the text to column is split your data into the multiple columns, but if you want to combine the multiple columns data into a single cell, so in that case you can use the concatenate. Like I have given you the first name in column A and last name in column B, and I just want to combine these names together. Like I'm looking for the output like this: Jen space Potter. So I'm looking for this output like this. So this case will be achieved by this concatenate function. So whatever I have written on this D2 cell, so here how many texts do we have? How many texts do we have?
Jane Potter and Ronnie Marcus. You ask
No, simply I'm
10,
asking
10
on
letters.
this G2 cell, whatever I have written, how many texts do we have?
Jane
10.
Potter. Only Jane Potter.
It means you are talking about the 2,
Yes, two.
but we have a 3. Jen, then we have a space, then we have a Potter.
Okay.
Okay, so here you just need to use this concatenate function. It is asking the text one. What is your first text? Jen, comma. text 2. What was my second text? Space.
Yeah, Potter.
Okay, so a space, I just need to give into the double quotes. Between these double quotes, I have given the space, comma, text 3, name. If you press the enter, you can see it is giving you the first name and the last name together. Okay, if you fill this formula to the downside, you will be able to see it is giving you the first name and the last name together. Okay, like this. Same thing which you can perform using this concatenate function. Same thing you can perform by using this ampersand. Ampersand is that and sign. Okay, how you will do this? I said equals to, I want to use this gen and I want to use the space and I want to use this Potter. That's it. And now if I press the enter, I will get the same result which I was achieving by this concatenate function. So if you want to merge the multiple cells together, so you have two choices. Either you can use the concatenate function or you can use the ampersand function. Okay, ampersand, not ampersand function. Ampersand is not a function. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now here, if you see, so for example, I have given you this name, okay, like Amit Tomar. Okay. Here in this name, what I'm just looking for here, that I just want to convert this name into the proper case. So to convert this name into the proper case, what will be? In the Amit, A needs to be caps only, and in the Tomar, the T should be in the caps only. Yes or no? In the proper,
Yes.
right? So we have the proper function
Okay.
here. Proper,
1 second, sir.
yeah.
Any person type text chatting. Can you read?
Any person type.
Uh, chat text chatting. Can you read? Open the chat. Chetna 2. Explain ampersand again.
Okay,
Again
I will.
repeat.
Yes, I'll come on that point. Just wait for a minute. Okay. Now, in this proper function, if you see that if I just select this text, so what will happen that here it will convert this into the proper. Okay, in the Amit, A will be in the caps, and in the Tomar, the T will be in the caps. If you see, look. Okay, in the upper, if you want to convert all the letter into the uppercase, that A should be in uppercase, M should be in uppercase, I, then T, each and every letter. So use the upper function, it will convert all the letters into the uppercase. And if you just want to go for the lower case, so you can use the lower function here. So all the words will be in lower case like this. Okay. Yeah, Chetna. Ampersand. So in this ampersand, I have taken the reference of this A2 cell, that this is my first text, and then I want to add the space, and then I want to add the B2 cell. So it will go for the A2. A2 is what? Gen. After that, it will give the space, and after that, it will add the Potter. So it will give you the final output as a gen, then space, then Potter. It is clear to you now? Chetna, it is clear to you now? Okay, great. Now, here, if you see, suppose I have given you the first name and the last name in column A and B. I said, okay, I want to combine the name together, which is a gen Potter, but final outcome should come into the proper case. Like in the data, can you see in the gen, the J is written in the lower case? right?
Yes.
Okay. So here, if I say to combine the things together, so what you will do? Either you will use the concatenate function, or you will just go for the ampersand function, right? Just a minute. So now here what you will do is, if you just want to combine the name together, you will just use this concatenate function like this. It is giving you the name, fine. But I want to convert this into the proper case. So what I will do, before this, I will put this proper function. And if I just press the enter, it is giving you the name into the proper or not.
Yes.
So here I have used the two functions together, proper and concatenate. When you use the multiple functions together, so these kind of functions are known as a nested functions. The multiple functions combinations are known as a nested functions, and nested functions execution is start from right to left. Or in the layman terms, or in the layman words, you can say the function which is far from the equals to sign, that will execute the first. So in this case, which function is far from the equals to sign, proper or the concatenate?
First we will do the concatenate, then
Concatenate,
we will do the proper.
right? So this concatenate function will execute the first, and whatever the output will be generated by this concatenate, on that the proper is going to be work, and it will show you the final output. Okay, so the mean of that, I'm just taking an example to given you. Okay, like suppose you have implemented these three functions A, B, and C. So what will happen? Whatever the output will be generated, the C function will execute first. Whatever the output will be generated, on that the B function is going to work. Then whatever the output will be generated by this B function, on that the A function will execute and give you the final result. Okay. Now, if I drag this formula, so you can see it is giving you the perfectly desired output in proper case. Similarly, if you are looking for the uppercase, I can use the same formula, only what I just need to change it.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm just copy pasting the syntax in the chat box. So instead of this proper and concatenate, can I use this as well?
Yeah, this also you can use. That is also fine.
Okay, because currently I'm daily working on this.
अनूप
Ah,
हेलो अनूप
yeah.
थोड़ा सा मुझे कुछ ज्यादा कंफ्यूजन लगे, एक बात बताओ, जो ये कॉन्कैटिनेट है और एम्परसैंड है, ये दोनों प्रॉपर फॉर्मूला फंक्शन है, दोनों चीज
हाँ,
ठीक है? तो एक बात बताओ, जब हमने प्रॉपर वाला किया तो हम वहां पे ये नहीं लिख सकते कि इक्वल टू प्रॉपर, और हम जेन पॉटर वाला हम सेल सेलेक्ट कर ले, और
कर
तो
सकते
भी हम
हैं,
उसको
कर सकते हैं, बिल्कुल. Like for example, you are
हम्म
talking about upper, and if I select this one, right?
या
Yeah, we can do this one. But suppose for example, if I
हम्म
say using this column A and B, I only need this column F result. So you are just creating this kind of a helper column or not? अगर मैं आपको
हाँ
बोलता कि इंटरव्यू में सपोज आपको कॉलम ए और बी दिया,